Um, so the first thing I like to do is start off by asking the Steamettes what you've been up to. John, would you like to fill us in, or Alice, or Millie, or anyone?
Right, where to start? The Radio Society of Great Britain will be coming down to Thanet to film them.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because
Indeed.
they will feature in a convention. Is that right, Alice? Yeah, online convention in October.
Is it,
yeah, go on.
Is that about the previous what was it, demo that they did, transatlantic?
Yes, BBC Microbit, but they've done a whole lot of other activities. They've done tracking satellites, sending messages up to satellites. And what else? Alice, help me out. Oh yeah, speaking to French hams across the water. Yeah, so they've been very busy, and of course helping at the Tech Club.
Yes, and we've got the video coming as well for the USA conference, the video conference, and you've got they've recorded a video, haven't they? So
yeah, in 2 weeks' time, the video will be shown in Los Angeles online convention. Ooh, wow.
That does deserve a round of applause. That's incredible. You're putting us bigs to shame.
Did you want to see the video, Matt?
I would love to.
First question is, how long is it?
7 minutes.
How long?
7.
Yeah,
well, show of hands, really, from everyone.
Well, you've got it. I sent it to you.
My video, though. Because I hate the battery and everything to go flat.
Okay. Yeah, I think can we save that till after Shaun's demo, because he is battery powered and he's a bit worried he might run out of juice.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Okay. Excellent. And it would be a difficult video to follow, to be honest. So
exactly.
How could I compete? And we have a schedule, and geeks like schedules.
Lovely. So yeah, excellent. Now the Tech Club. I know Millie, and I think Alice, I saw you there, and Afra was there as well, and Nicola. Looked like a really good event. I mean, I had to step. I couldn't get involved as much at all really this time. But what's the situation with that, and how was everyone's experience?
Well, it was brilliant. It was really, really good. Firstly, the thing that really blew me away was that 30 adults had booked to come to it with their children, and 29 of the people who booked turned up. And I think that's fantastic statistic. And then 18 people came in because something was happening. So we had 83 people came into the space, and most of them went from table to table talking to people. I was amazed. I even had some people doing some coding as well, so it was fantastic. Afra was there, John was there with the Steamettes. We had Sean Clark from Leicester joined us, and he was doing some Arduino and various other things. And then we had Nick from Cliff's Edge running some voice synthesizer hardware and software, and yeah, it was really positive. So lots of positive feedback, lots of interest in future activities. So all being well, we shall have a tech club on the 18th of September, and that one will be in the old Woolworths building. And then the Margate School is hoping to secure funding so that they can roll out more. So we shall see. And hopefully, Matt, then you will be there for that one.
Yes, I'll bend over backwards to be there.
Marvellous.
Definitely.
Marvellous.
and I had a go at Afra's digital art app, and so did my 4-year-old daughter as well. She loved it. So it's accessible to all ages.
Did you submit?
Yes, yes. It was Millie that showed me how to do it, actually. So thank you very much, Millie. Very good. A lot of different things there. Maybe we'll see a dancing spaceman next time. When is the next one?
So the next one is penciled in for the 18th of September. Becky, who organised the event, is on holiday at the moment, so we'll be in touch with her afterwards. Absolutely. I mean, what Tim and I would personally be very interested in is it's as much about sharing and trying things out as it is demonstrations. So it's not formal workshops, and I think it'd be really nice if people see it as an opportunity to play test things and to come and join in. So I mentioned that they're seeking some funding, but it's just so that there might be some a nominal amount of money for people who are in the space demoing things. But at the moment, we all did it for nothing. In the September one, we'd all do it for nothing. But I think what could be really nice is that within any of the future tech clubs, as I say, it could be a possibility of someone showing something, trying something out, getting feedback. Does that sound good?
Excellent. Exciting times in Margate. Hey.
Rocking.
Good.
Right, super geeky.
Talking of exciting, I'm going to move on to the mystery item now. I know you're all waiting for this bit. Okay, so hold on to your hats. Before that, even more exciting. Afra, would you like to talk about this?
Yes, hi everyone. So I've come here a couple of times, so a lot of you probably know who I am, but I've just recently moved to Thanet. I made a project called Shemza Digital that I was sharing with everybody at Tech Club on Saturday. And basically at the moment you can create your own digital paintings online and then submit it to an online archive, and the digital paintings are based on the work of my grandfather, who's quite a famous abstract painter called Anwar Jalal Shemza, and I wanted to basically share his work with everybody, with the public, and think about ideas of championing kind of other stories and diversity basically within British art history, as my grandfather was from Pakistan. So I've just been funded for the second part of the project. And with all those digital paintings, I'm going to be designing an installation that will be toured nationally next year. And I thought, why stop with the participation at the paintings? Why not involve young people and adults across the country in helping me to design the interactive installation, which is a pretty tricky thing to do, but it's exciting. So I've got a workshop coming up in August on the 21st for young people 10 to 16 years that will be held online for sort of local residents. And in that workshop we'll do some digital painting, and we'll also be designing what the installation might look like. So there'll be some kind of information about different types of things, different types of tech that you can use to create installations: projections, screens, LED walls, LEDs, sculpture, etc. And then together we'll design spatially what that might look like. So it's a bit long, wasn't it? But yeah, it would be great if any of you know any 10 to 16-year-olds, or, maybe some of the older side of coming up to 10 would probably still be fine to do that. Please do share the link. Shall I drop it in the chat as well, just so you've got access to it? Yeah. Yeah, that would be great. Thanks, Pat, for letting me speak about it.
Oh no, and we've shared these details on the Geekery and the Thanet Technology Facebook pages as well, if you want an easy way to find this information. And I'll post all of the links that we go to today, all as a big list of useful stuff. So
Where will you share that?
I'll share that to the first. It gets shared to, well, I'll put it on the Facebook pages, and probably send it out to an email to anyone that subscribes to the Geekery. If you go to the geekery.uk, you can put your email address and press the submit button and add yourself to the list. And
in the chat as well.
And maybe, yes. No, I don't really. Yeah, I could do.
Because, yeah.
Well, if Afra, if you share that link in the chat, which you have done, that's good. But I collate all of the links that come up and share them in all sorts of different ways. So I'm sure you'll find one of them in there somewhere. Okay. But,
thank you. Yes, that's perfect. And if anyone knows anyone else to share it with, I've any kind of networks, because I'm only just moved here, so I'd really appreciate that. That would be great.
yeah. Well, I know a couple of teachers that would be interested, and I'm sure the Steamettes do too. So yes, a good thing to share.
Thank you. Yes, thanks so much.
Lovely. Okay. Thank you very much, Afra. Right, the next slide, I think, is the mystery object. So, are you ready? Oh, if you do subscribe to the geekery.uk, you'd have already seen the mystery object, mystery item, and be able to get off to a running start. But there it is. So I'll take questions now.
Furby.
Yeah.
So it is a Furby. Yes, it's quite obvious, but this object really triggered a proper rabbit hole investigation into stuff.
Mm.
I won't go into too much I won't spoil the suspense.
That particular one, are you saying?
That particular, well, this actually, I was thinking about the Furby Connect.
Ah, okay.
And that's got a joystick on its forehead, and LED screens for eyes, and a Bluetooth connection to an app that then connects to the internet, so it can learn new songs, etc. So it is an internet-connected Furby.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So really, I suppose the mystery item is more of a mystery rabbit hole towards global warfare, as it turned out, in a funny sort of way. But ending at Ramsgate's newest tech museum. So
wow.
it was quite an odyssey that this object triggered in me a couple of days ago. So if you can think about how to go from a Furby to...
was it a diplomatic incident it caused?
That would be quite interesting, yeah. Yeah, some diplomat walking around with a Furby in his top.
Well, I seem to remember something like that happening, that's all.
Yeah. No, Mr. Trump, I don't expect you to talk. I expect you to die. Okay, so I think the fun of this mystery object might come later on. Maybe, at least for me. So I'll move on. So it is a Furby, and we'll see. So now is obviously after the Steamettes main event, there's Shaun, who is going to talk to us about his walkabout projection, and he's asked me to show you a YouTube video which has been beautifully made that describes his invention really well. And I mean, at the face of it, it seems really simple, but it's quite astonishing the steps that you've gone through to create this. So I'm really interested. I'm really looking forward to hearing the nitty-gritty of it. So. Oh, excellent. Very good. Okay, right. So I'm going to change to this view and try and get my light balance right. It looks amazing here, absolutely incredible. My camera might not be doing justice to it. I mean, that's pretty good. And it's almost daylight here, though I have just shut the door a bit. But otherwise, over to you, Shaun, and I'll try and point this camera at you as you speak. I'll move around.
Thanks for. I hope you enjoyed the video. It was created. It was commissioned for artists who weren't necessarily involved in technology, but to give them an insight into creative uses of technology. So there's a little series of them, so feel free to check out the others. But I think that's appropriate for some of the people here as well. Could give an insight into how it works. The point of having it set up here right now is if someone has more specific questions about the technology, we can answer in a demo now. But if my lovely assistant zooms down on the kit here, we have the battery packs. There's 2 battery packs connected to mini PC, mini dumb PC. That's my phone. Then we have the short throw projector, the leap motion sensor, and the speaker, which is convenient for now to amplify the sound. So this is just set up on a table now. For the Mars and Beyond installation, we used a bespoke plinth and a paper mache moon. So this is just for demo purposes now, but it still can be picked up and moved around if wanted. So I'm going to turn on the speaker now, and then the hand gesture. So it's as simple as a tickle is the easiest way to, we discovered the easiest way to introduce people to use it. Both hands, all fingers create a different animation. And with the twist of the wrist, we're able to rotate the character in real time. So he is animating and 360 control from your hand, your wrist. So your hand is the joystick, which is different to video playback, which would be just playing loops. This is like real-time games engine. So just like Fortnite, the kids say. So any questions from the audience? Because I'm not the kind of person that's just going to sit here and talk for days, because you've just watched an informative little video. But if there's specific questions from the audience, I think that could be beneficial.
There's always a bit of a lag before someone unmutes themselves.
Oh, they're muted again.
I missed it. Can you do it all again?
We're recording for you. Just so you know, there's a bit of distraction because we had a latecomer who's been really rowdy now.
So, what lifetime do these batteries give you?
Batteries give me 3 hours. It's the projector is the most hungry. The little computer isn't very hungry or labor energy hungry at all. It's got like a heat sink on it to try and keep it cool. It has no fan and it's solid state, so it's perfect for mobile use. People ask quite often to buy the kit off me while I'm out using it. They literally want to buy it off my back, but then when I tell them how much, then they get nervous. And another point, I've just become clever in doing Arts Council and funding grants. I know a lot of you people out there are experts at that. I've basically bankrolled this myself for the last few years. So it's got to the point now where I've kind of slowed down, and I will start chasing that funding dollar, pound, because it's a fun game.
So what's
and
next?
I want to play that game.
If you had unlimited funds? Well,
taking it more reactive to the environment is definitely the direction. So with the accelerometer and GPS, so it knows where it is in 3D space, so it can track the environment. That's what we'd like to take it next, with some other fellow geekies I've been talking with. So we're going to apply for some funding and take that further. So basically, it is similar to how Pokemon, PokeGo, the augmented app on your phones, that's how they kind of work, where they're seeing the outside world and they censor it, and then the characters will be placed and act as if they are a real character in the world, but doing it with projection, which I find is quite exciting. So it's a shared experience as opposed to a personal solo experience.
Okay, cool. I've just checked the chat, and could you give some close-ups of the projector and the leap motion? Maybe talk about what the leap motion is as well.
Leap motion is a hand gesture sensor, and you can see on the view of the camera, the phone right now, you can see there's 3 white dots. The 3 white dots are not visible in real life because that's infrared. So this camera is picking up infrared and making it white, which maybe some of you understand. So your hand is reflecting the infrared to the sensor, and that's how it knows which hand and which fingers you are interacting with. So I'm having to there we go. I'm just trying to, I've got one hand to play with it and change the lighting, which isn't working. I've turned the sound off now because it's quite difficult to talk. But yeah, I think I've already demoed it. So every finger will create a different animation. So in the installations, I purposely didn't tell people because I didn't want there to be a 5-minute introduction before they get to have a go, because people just jump in and want to have a go. So let them have a go, and I just say, tickle the spaceman, which then they start competing with each other and discovering it themselves. Everything is customizable and adjustable. So yeah, for different situations and themes, easily catered for.
Did you do that with Blender? Is that your main?
The 3D character was manipulated in 3D software, but the 3D games engine is Unity. Blender was mentioned in the video previous because that's what Pickler Peter used to use to create the characters, but we haven't used Blender in this version. It's more going down Cinema 4D and Unity. So let's.
Any questions from the room before we go to
so when the games like Street Fighter first came out
Yes.
years ago, you didn't know what the combinations were then, did you? So they're all just random combinations that
Right.
you figured out. So
Yeah, well that's basically
combos on there.
when I was a kid, I used to get lost in the games, in the game arcades. So yeah, just bashing stuff and working it out comes second nature. And like we had Carmen here earlier, she didn't care what was making it work. She was just making it work, and she was obsessed by it. You know.
Yeah, she was.
But very quickly people gamify it themselves. Yeah, which is fun. It's good to see. So with it being in Mars and beyond for almost a month, actually next to Afra's installation, her lovely light installation, it was good to see a lot of user experience and how they responded. Okay, thank you. Feel free to. Matt's going to put the link to that video in the chat so you can watch it again in detail. It does have closed caption as well if you have people of hard of hearing, or you can understand what the hell I'm saying. But back to you, Matt.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So any questions from Zoom? I hope you could hear what we were saying and see what we were trying to show you. It's a bit of a open loop situation here, really. Did that work for you in Zoom? Got a thumbs up.
I couldn't get the audio to work, but I'll watch the video on YouTube.
Ah, yes. Hopefully that will work
share
as
the
well.
link.
Yeah, I'm going to share the link.
And which camera are you on right now?
I'm still on the Dan cam.
Okay, it's on you. Okay.
Right, I'm going to try and. Oh, I accidentally flashed up the answer to the mystery item there. I always do something like
Why
that.
did you do it? Don't spoil it.
I'm making sure I've got the right link to Shaun's video. No, I haven't got a real one, unfortunately. But Yeah, I'm gonna.
I came all this way.
Sorry, Andrew, I've just sent that one just to you.
It's not even here.
So I'm posting a link to the video. There's some comments about how good the video was in the chat.
Fantastic.
And
Thank
yes,
you.
very true.
Do you remember, was it like the James Whale radio show? It was one of the first sort of radio shows that was televised. I feel like this is what's going on.
Okay. Right. I'm just going to change my camera view away from the phone cam. Right.
So where are the microphones?
You can put the phone down now. Right. So thank you very much, Shaun. A round of applause would be lovely if you could.
Would be lovely.
That's excellent. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is this your phone?
Yes. Okay. I will post the links to Shaun's socials with the general link sharing thing I do.
Show them to the chat now. We never know where these people are going to go.
Okay.
They may never come back. Capture the moment.
Okay. I'll post the link tree link. That will give you all of the contact information you could possibly need.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So the mystery item. So obviously it was a Furby. Can you see it on that screen over there?
Oh, no. Which one now?
It's on the screen behind me too. Okay. So just waiting for them to sort themselves out a little bit over there.
Is that Alice? Has Alice got one?
Yes, Alice has actually got a. Is that a Furby Connect as well? Fantastic. No, oh no, probably just as well, really. Because little Easter egg. But these Furby Connects were classified in Germany and America as illegal espionage apparatus.
Mm.
There are laws against having objects that can record and transmit that recording, that can record audio and video that looks like another object. And so ashtrays with microphones in them are illegal. And the Furby actually falls into that category. And in Germany, you can get 2 years for selling Furby Connects because of that reason. Okay, there are some links that I will share that go into greater detail of how to hack a Furby, how to connect via Bluetooth and be able to speak to whoever's playing with the toy, which is quite scary, and even change the images, the videos, if you like, that are shown in the eyes, which yeah, could be a bit. So it's a bit naughty, but that started me thinking about the Internet of Things and how lots of these objects are incredibly insecure. Here's a couple of quotes about the US and the Germans banning Furbies. You can go to jail for selling a Furby in Germany.
What, even now?
Yeah.
I've always liked the Germans. I've always liked the Germans.
Okay, so this got me thinking about the Internet of Things, and there's a really interesting set of stories from, I think it was 2017, maybe before, about this IoT Botnet, and that was specifically targeting IoT devices like webcams, that kind of thing, that connected to Wi-Fi but had standard passwords, and the IoT Botnet would just automatically reach out and infect any IoT devices it could find, and there were hundreds of thousands of these devices infected with the malware, and that allowed a botmaster to command these hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of computers to attack a chosen victim with a denial of service attack, distributed denial of service, a DDoS attack. So if you imagine you had a web server or a web page or something like that, that's perhaps critical to your business, having millions of computers try and access that web page all at once will quickly bring most websites to their knees. And then what could follow then is some kind of ransom message saying we'll stop our attack if you give us so many Bitcoin or whatever, all that kind of stuff. So there's some significant naughtiness that can be done with a botnet like this. And IoT devices it's changing a bit now, but they are incredibly insecure with standard passwords. No one can be bothered to change them once, let alone regularly. So this is a whole world that is constantly ongoing. Every country is under attack from these kind of things, not just denial of service, but actual physical results can come from this kind of attack, this cyber warfare that's going on behind the scenes. And there's lots of examples now. So from 10 years ago, hackers hit a US water treatment system, and that changed the chemicals that went into the water, that went to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, I think in Florida, maybe one in some real world potential problems around water, sewage, even the power grid. So if a naughty person used his botnet of IoT devices and decided to turn lots of these things on all at once, that could have serious consequences to the power grid of any nation. Really, it could really mess up the infrastructure of a company, of a country. As another example of how the Washington DC police cameras kind of accidentally got hit with ransomware just a week or two before Donald Trump's inauguration. And it was kind of accidental. The malware kind of gets into these networks when someone clicks on an email or something like that. So it wasn't purposefully targeted because of the inauguration, but it could have been. It could have been. So these cyber physical threats, the UK, the US, every major country is constantly being probed by these kind of threats. And it's a bit in the background, really. I don't know if any of you have heard of anything like that. It should be keeping us awake at night. I'm saying
there actually is some robot that's being released shortly or now that is crawling every website in the world at the same time, looking for vulnerabilities to expose them for the benefit of the world, because they want to highlight the fails to fix them, so we have a better internet.
Yeah.
Good. The best defense against ransomware is backups. That's basically it. Because if you have to pay a ransom, you're basically in trouble and you haven't actually solved the problem.
So it happened again.
Yeah, that's true.
Can you in the Zoom room hear what they're saying over there?
Yes.
We're like the talking heads panel over here.
Very good.
Rabble in the corner, occasionally thrown in somewhere.
Okay, now so this is the rabbit hole I was going down into, and this next slide is a bit wordy, but the first one of these attacks happened to Marconi, who was demonstrating his supposedly secure Morse code system. He was sending a message. He was about to send a message from Cornwall to London, about 300 miles. And he was saying it's a very secure form of communication. But apparently, a magician, a British music hall magician, Neville Maskelyne, hacked into the presentation with some kind of brass projection lantern and he tapped out in Morse code, which the Steamettes will love this. He tapped out in Morse code the message, rats, 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 rats. There was a young fellow of Italy who diddled the public quite prettily. And it went on to be insulting and mocking of Marconi. So that was the first sort of one of these kind of things. But there was a paper that just documented lots of these kind of things, and sort of cyber physical type attacks. And there was a big peak of them in the Ukraine a few years ago, probably to do with Russia's involvement in that war. And you know, these things have real purpose, and this is where I got towards global warfare and the use of IoT in this kind of area. The US supposedly attacked a very specific industrial control system to do with Iran's enrichment systems for uranium, and they targeted specific combinations of software applications and control system hardware to make very specific changes to how the centrifuges were controlled, and actually span them too fast, so they kind of blew up, mechanically failed, or kind of exploded. It was very precise.
Just delivered an incorrect product as well.
Sorry?
It would change the grade of the product. Which is dangerous. Yeah.
So this is a very deep world that's been going on since Marconi's time, and is it's going crazy. And script kiddies to advanced persistent threats or state-sponsored actors. There's a whole spectrum of people that are doing these naughty things. So I've managed to get to global warfare, but I backed off a bit to there's a link down here which I'll add to the list of advice of how to secure your smart devices to stop them becoming part of these botnets. But really it comes down to updating your firmware all the time and changing the default password, and if you get really paranoid, change your password every month or so.
All of them.
And turn them on and off again regularly, because the software can be reset just by doing that.
That's very important. So you don't just use a word. One of the classic ways to do a really difficult cipher is to actually think of a lyric for a song and take the first letter from every word in the lyric and put those together, because that's going to create gibberish that nobody will be able to crack. And if you take a word and put an I or a one or that sort of thing in, it won't actually have an effect. If you choose something which is like a lyric and then put the first letter, it will become gibberish to other people, but it will take
you'll remember
months and months and months to.
Do you recommend a Google, the random Google one that they will suggest you, or websites will suggest you sometimes? Do you recommend those passwords?
I normally do my own, but I will have
I have a password generator.
Password generator built into the password manager, but I don't use the one.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I use KeyPass, but a lot of people use LastPass.
Yeah, I use RoboForm. Yeah. RoboForm, but LastPass, KeyPass. Yeah.
So you don't trust the ones on the website?
No.
That's the point. Wow.
I don't trust the password managers. I used to have one. I don't trust it, especially now.
Well, I definitely don't. But no, I think the password managers are good. The independent ones are great. They are well worth following. But yeah, I would go for them every time.
Oh, Afra's about to leave. Oh, that's why they were waving.
Yeah.
And Alice has had to go. Oh, it's her sister's birthday. Happy birthday, sister of Alice. And they're coming back. Excellent. Yeah, so I use a bit of an algorithm to generate passwords.
That's what it is. No. Or is it?
I'm not going to tell you what my algorithm is.
How many characters?
It just because I prefer to remember my passwords than rely on a password manager. Because I've had them corrupt on me. And
CD cartoon of correct force battery staple. Yeah, so I've been somewhere where someone actually then had that as the password.
Yeah, it's kind of missing the point, isn't it?
Yeah, they missed the point. That's just put the correct force battery staple.
Yeah.
I did know somebody years ago. He'd named his passwords after some islands somewhere off the west coast of Africa, but then told people. So you think, but you've just reduced it down to a very small number of actual islands.
Okay, so does anyone in Zoom want to say anything about?
I was going to say I dropped a link there about a thing called The Thing. There was a listing device that was given to America by Russia, and I think it was designed by Tesla. I'm not sure. It was designed by somebody. No, not Tesla. What's his name? Bloke who did the theremin. Him, Mr. Theremin, probably. And basically, it was a kind of wooden statue, and they're going, "Oh, we'll have that up in our board meeting room." But behind it, it was a transmitter, and it broadcast across the road everything they were saying in the meeting room. It's called The Thing. It's quite an interesting little article. And it was. I think it was Theremin that was involved. I thought it was Tesla, but it's not.
Fantastic.
Very cool.
And the British discovered it for
the American. I think it was American. Yeah, it was the BBC. Oh, that's right. I haven't read the article for a long time. Yeah, that's right. They were broadcasting, going, "Oh, there's some kind of corruption coming in." Yeah, that's right.
The British guy overheard American conversations on an open radio channel, so that's how he realised they were being bugged. That's simpler times back then.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So Furby took me down that rabbit hole, but I came up again because Look Mum No Computer is a local fella. He lives in Ramsgate now, and he made the Furby organ, which you might have heard of, but he's just opened the Museum of Everything Else in Ramsgate, right next to the Micro Museum there. And it's fantastic. I follow him on YouTube, and I've been following him building all of these machines, like a 1,000 oscillator wall.
Surely you've met him by now.
I've met him, yeah.
Were you a bit starstruck?
I only met him once or twice. He helped me move these whiteboards.
That's a bit prosaic.
Come on, great use of his skills.
You had all that build.
Yeah, I really. He's a very busy guy, but this is the website of the museum. It's fabulous, incredible. I'm looking forward to going. There's the Game Boy Mega Machine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30, 50 Game Boys that he uses the sound chips in there to build a synthesizer. So he uses the oscillators in the Game Boy to make a Game Boy sounding wall of noise. It's absolutely fantastic.
They're all on display in Ramsgate, aren't they?
You see, these are pictures from the museum.
Does he sit in the museum? Is he running it, or has he got someone to do it?
Yeah, so the story was he bought this place to be his workshop, but because of planning permission rules, it had to be a museum. So it became a museum.
How weird.
And this is the wonderful result. So
is he using it as a studio space as well? Then
yes,
is he making in there? He's tinkering
yes,
away.
Yes, he is. Yes, it's his sound studio and.
God, you know what, Matt? It sounds like this could be a touring tech club. That one tech club, you should do it in his museum.
Oh, that would be such a thrill. It really would. Yeah.
I hope you like that.
Definitely. So we'll see. So that rabbit hole ended quite nicely, actually. Back in the bit of a monologue there. If you want to see the Furby organ, we can come back and do that later. Yeah, you're the disruptive band over there in the corner. Look at the reprobates up there in the reprobate.
Oh yeah.
So that's the end of the formal bit of this meeting, really. So over to you guys on Zoom, if you want to say anything that's going on in the future. We've heard a bit about the Tech Club in September.
Steamettes video.
We've heard a little bit about the Steamettes future awesomeness. Anything else going on? Nope. It is the holiday season, isn't
Can
it?
we watch the Steamettes video then? There was a Steamettes video?
Does the video exist from the Steamettes? I think now would be a lovely time to see that.
Yeah.
So over to you, John. I'll spotlight you.
Okay, share screen.
Yes, please. I think you do that.
Can you see it?
There we go.
Oh, there we are.
My name is in Morse. My name is in Morse. My name is in Morse. We like science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. And together we are the Steamettes. We are learning Morse code thanks to Rob K2MZ of Long Island CW. We are training for our Foundation Amateur Radio license. Do you know that it now has a built-in microphone and speaker which makes it perfect for the Morse code? The logo is touch sensitive, which is really cool. Also, it has more computing power. We use the buttons A and B to send bits and dials. To code the microbit to send Morse is very easy. Go to the Make Code website. We use the forever loop, and when button A is pressed, it sends the note high C for 100 milliseconds. Then we turn the sound off. Button B sends a DAR, so we have the note for 300 milliseconds. We don't use the beats as we want a ratio of 3:1 timing for the DAR to DIT. Note also that the sound is sent when the button is released. We had borrowed a Morse key from the Hillstone Radio Society to practice our Morse, but we wanted our own. So we need our own Morse key from a kit. It only costs £6.50 or about $10 from Phoenix Kits. We did a bit of soldering, but then we simply screwed all the parts together. We use the analogy to play battleships. If you have the old version of the BBC microbit, you have to use a button to send Morse. We started from the telegraph details on the website. You connect one long wire to pin 2 and the other to pin 1. You do the same on the other microbit, but reverse the connections so that pin 2 is connected to pin 1 on the other. The nano key is then connected across the 0 and 3 volt pins. We are ready to go. The program is waiting either for button A to be pressed or the Morse key before sending the note.
We used the grid from the website Thanet, written by Joe VK3YSP and Julie VK3FOWL. You send the coordinates of your missile in the Morse.
If it is a hit, your train sends a dot. If it is a miss, she sends a full stop. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Alice is sending D5. It's a miss. What will Caitlin send? E0. It's a hit.
We are now going to send Morse code using a built-in radio. It uses the 2.4 GHz band with channels spaced at 1 million Hz intervals. From 2.400 GHz to 2.499 GHz. There are 256 group codes, meaning we can send 256 different people in private. In fact, if we use the channels, that makes 256 times 100, or 25,600 possible stations that we could communicate with.
In the program, you start with function radio set group, with the same group number for everybody. We could also set the frequency too, with the function radio set frequency band. We send our dits and dars by radio, and we press buttons A and B.
Better still, we have used our nanokey to send the Morse. The connection of the nanokey is simply across the 0 to 3 volt edge connectors.
We hope you have enjoyed our presentation. There's a lot more you can do with the help of the BBC microbit.
We have experimented with converting it into an Arduino with help from Adafruit. It has a built-in compass and it can be used to find north, which can be used for wind tracking satellites such as the FunCube educational satellite.
It has a thermometer and light meter. The BBC microbit version 2 is a brilliant device for children and adults to learn how to code and to learn Morse code.
It makes us laugh when the other children in our class have no idea what we're saying if we say a word feature such as da-di-da-da, dee-dee-dee. With the help of you too can become a Morse code ninja.
Superb.
Okay.
I have a challenge, I think.
What was that?
I think I have a challenge.
Oh yeah, go on.
Something that decodes Morse and turns it into the letters on the screen so that somebody can hear, well, so see what's being transmitted.
Right. Or you learn Morse code.
Well, yeah, well, you could, yeah, or you could.
Did you get their names at the beginning?
I didn't. I'm no good at Morse code.
Right.
There used to be, I think it was Nintendo. There used to be a little robot that lonely people playing on their own could have a robot to come and play with them, and that used flashes of light from the screen, kind of like subliminal messages to tell the robot what to do.
Oh.
So on,
yeah.
It's a bit similar.
There was a talk about like using 1 MHz channels, John, but then using goes within them. So was that a digital mode that's being used there that you then send in CW audio over?
Sorry,
For now, over.
Could you say the first bit again, please?
So I thought I saw in the video that there were 1 MHz channel. 1 MHz channels. Well, there are 1 MHz channels with 256 group codes within each channel. Does that mean it was a digital mode being sent, or what was the what was the communication between the microbits? Was it all digital?
Right. I think it's bytes of data sent on the Bluetooth frequency. Right.
Okay. There was audio being converted into data and then sent. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thank you.
Perhaps Bob knows the answer. Bob? No.
Bob.
Robert? Yeah. No. Not to worry.
Excellent. That's fantastic work, and very lots of different things that you've mastered there and talked about so eloquently. You obviously understand it very well, as well as producing something. It's very impressive.
Well, no one's done it anywhere in the world. They've done with the old BBC microbit, you know, pressing the two buttons for dits and dars, but they've not done the telegraph and they've not done the Morse code on the radio. And having the loudspeaker built in makes a huge difference.
Wonderful. So using Wi-Fi and serial communications, it's really seriously impressive. We should be proud of the Steamettes as a county, if not a country.
Yeah, I was going to say the country should.
Yeah. Clever girls.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
I would say clever engineers, actually, but that's just me.
But that brings to an end the formal part of the Thanet Technology Meetup for July. Thank you very much to everyone for spending the evening here. Thank you very much to the Steamettes for wowing us yet again. And look forward to hearing more from you next month.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Shaun.
Yeah. Yay.
Wonderful kit. Very good. Very good. And thank you, Nicola, for doing the Tech Club. No, is there any more thank yous?
Thank you, Matt, for sorting it out.
Oh, well, fine.
No more thank yous required or deserved, frankly. Okay. So yeah, now it's over to the sort of general chit chat and so on. Let's see how. How did everyone feel about the hybrid thing with those guys over? I don't know which way I'm pointing, but
yeah,
I'm pointing at them in two different.
It's like your chorus.
Yes, it is somewhat like was it? Don't forget your toothbrush or whatever it is, where lots of people are talking in the background, but you can still hear what you're saying, but you can hear what they're saying too. It's very good.
Okay, and I've got you Zoomers going through this speaker. Does that cause any feedback or anything for you? Or bad audio?
I had real problems hearing the video when you had the video playing. When you had it playing, I could hear it when John did. It broke up a little bit, but when you played the first video, I could hear maybe 5% of it.
Yeah,
it might be my audio end.
I turned down the speaker because I thought it might be interfering, and I thought anyway. I stuffed up a bit there, but I do get to put a bit of reverb on you, which is really. This is so good.
Chorus, please. Should we sing?
I wonder if I can put a bit of grunge in there maybe as well. It doesn't work for you in the room. Anyway, so it's a bit of grunge. Anyway, so enough of the grunge. And
now you can do audio.
Yeah, we're getting feedback.
It's descending into chaos again.
There was a funny joke of I think it was the Marshall Ants website that had a feedback form, and people were always sending ooh messages. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Right. Right. Well, yes. Thank you, everyone, except for them. And I hope to see you all next month, even though it is holiday season.
Yeah.
Zoom
Well, great.
will join, which is wonderful.
Thanks, Matt. Excellent. And thank you all. Bye. I'm waving, but my camera's off.
Waving.
So, bye. I am waving, trust me.
Waving.
Yeah, bye. See you all soon.
Bye all.
Take care.
Change your passwords. Update your firmware.
I restarted my phone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
But feel free to stay on the Zoom call if you can join in. It might be a little bit strange.
If you're around,
and Steamettes and all associated. Right.
Yeah. Everyone, if you're around in 3 weeks' time at Joss Bay, you'll see massive antennas because there'll be a radio station set up and the girls will be operating there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where, sorry?
Joss Bay, near the lighthouse.
When is that?
That's in 3 weeks' time, weekend 21st and 22nd of August.
Tell Radio Kent, please, if you haven't done so already. Tell them.
Tell
them.
Radio Kent.
Tell Radio Kent, yeah.
Right, okay.
I don't know, I have to say, but at least tell them. All right, guys, I'm going to head off. Bye. Great as ever.
Cheers, Andrew.
Cheers.
Bye.
Goodbye, Alice.
Yeah. You're welcome, Matt, to come down and join Alice and watch her send Morse.
Great. Yeah. Could you write the details in the chat so I can keep a record of it, please?
Yeah.
You'll have another one.
Oh no, I'll leave it for a little while.
You're driving.
Driving, but also if we go to
Did you get a vehicle?
No, I didn't manage to in the end.
How was the hybrid experience for you guys?
Oh, the hybrid car. No.
Hybrid Thanet technology. Live in the present.
That screen's not working, so we had to use my phone in the end.
How that works?
You see, I tried to fix it when Raspberry Pi was like, I don't understand.
Oh dear. Right, well, I'm going to end the recording now on that outburst.
Bye, Matt.
Yeah, cheers. Oh, we've got the info. Yeah, 21st, 22nd of August. Excellent.
Maybe you should copy that before you end it.
It will be recorded as well. Thank you very much.
Bye.